So, the New York Liberty played the Connecticut Sun last night, or yesterday evening. It was like 6 p.m. my time, and I'm going to make a breakdown video on it today. I watched the game, but again, I've been exhausted the last couple of days just from constantly making videos and doing other stuff. So, obviously, sometimes I'm going to be a little bit late with this, and I was a little bit late with some videos yesterday. So, anyway, when it comes to these teams right here, the Connecticut Sun, where they're a hell of a team. They are one of the best defensive teams, if not the best defensive team in the league. They've got Dejanay Carrington, who's I have my top 10 player list coming out later today in the WNBA so far this season. She's on my honorable mentions. One of the more underrated players. You've got Alyssa Thomas, you've got Dewanna Bonner, and I don't know what the story was with Dewanna Bonner for Team USA, but if you're picking the best 12 available, she's on it. She is naturalized from Macedonia. That makes sense. There's no way that she wasn't picked for that team, but she naturalized from Macedonia. That makes so much sense. But yeah, so this game right here, the Sun were undefeated. They were going to be looking to be one of the 4 teams in history to go 10-0. But the Liberty has shown why. I actually think Liberty have been probably the best team in the WNBA this year. I know they lost that one game to the Sky, but that was just Liberty playing their worst game, and the Sky played their best game they're ever going to play. That's going to happen. It's going to happen that players are going to play. Some players are going to play their best games. Sometimes players are going to play their best games. Sometimes players are going to play their worst games. Not going to happen. But today or yesterday was a mad one because the New York Liberty went up big early. They went up huge. Sabrina Ionescu was class to start the game. She was really good, and obviously ended up as their top scorer with 24 points. But Sabrina pulled them off to got them a bit of a lead, and the Connecticut Sun just started fighting back. They started fighting back, and by halftime the Sun had the lead. I think it was tied at halftime. In the third quarter the Sun had the lead, but then later on in the game it was Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones shooting the lights out, looking like 2021 MVP Jonquel Jones. She was looking absolutely elite. She looked so good last night. She was shooting the 3. She was playing big inside. When Jonquel Jones is playing like that, she's incredibly tough to stop. And the Liberty are tough to stop, to be completely honest. Breanna Stewart, 13, 7, and 5. Stats-wise, really... that's the thing with Breanna Stewart, is she's quiet in a lot of games. She is quiet, but they did kind of in the second half run their offense through her a little bit more. She goes through spells where she looks like the best player in the league, and Breanna Stewart, she goes through spells where she just looks anonymous on the floor. And that's the one thing when I'm watching the Liberty is I know she can do everything. She's her game, she has no holes in her game whatsoever on the offense or defensive end. She just kind of fades in and out of games. And even when she's setting up things pretty well, she can be a passer, she can take the ball up at times. She just seems to fade. She can go and put up 18 or 15 or something in a quarter against Chicago and then do nothing for a while and then win you a game. And it's just one of those weird things just watching her play is she either looks like the best player on the floor or anonymous. It's one or the other. But when it came to the Connecticut Sun, Dewanna Bonner has been one of the best players in the league this year. Genuinely, I know she's 36 years old. She's genuinely been one of the best players. Breanna Jones, probably should have been made that USA team over Brittany Griner, I'm not going to lie. And Alyssa Thomas. Look, Alyssa Thomas, again, she's someone who just does everything. She's not the best scorer, but she's your point forward. For Team USA, they're talking about, they don't have any point guards, they need some point guards. Just play Alyssa Thomas point guard. I don't care really what height she is. Just play Alyssa Thomas. She's 6'2". Play her at the 1. She's fine. But she's genuinely it says here, she's 12 triple doubles. I've just looked and seen. You can see it. She is a walking triple double. In the women's game, there's not too many that I would say are walking triple doubles. I would say at times you just look at Breanna Stewart thinking she could, on any given game, give you a triple double. I think on any given game, Caitlin Clark probably could as well. But when it comes to Alyssa Thomas, she's doing it. She could genuinely. She does everything. She does absolutely everything on the floor. But when it came to the Liberty last night, it really was a case of the two of the best teams in the WNBA playing. And I felt like it was Sabrina and Jonquel Jones down the stretch that just managed to hold off the Sun coming back into that game. Sabrina Ionescu, with a lot of the talk being like, oh, should she have really made that team over Caitlin Clark? She goes and beats the Connecticut Sun. At the same time, like, Caitlin Clark's team did only lose to the Connecticut Sun by 4, I think. I'm pretty sure that was the game where Alia Boston missed the open layup. But still, you gotta get the job done, and that's what the New York Liberty did. So when it comes to the WNBA teams, who I think are probably would tip to win it all, like, the Aces have to at least, I know it's early in the year, but like, they're only 5-3. They have to at least start playing. Like, they've lost 3 games and they've played badly 3 times. So it's like, you've played badly 3 out of 8 times, but when they win, they just look like they're just steamrolling teams. But then again, at the same time, there are teams that are too good for the Aces to sleepwalk to the championship. Like the Connecticut Sun, if they're sleepwalking, will beat them. The Liberty are looking as good this year as they did last year. And then you've also got, I really like the Seattle Storm, by the way. I think the Seattle Storm with Skylar Diggins-Smith playing, because of, she's getting better and better every time she plays. I genuinely think that they're going to be a tough out for anyone. Neko Umake is unbelievable. Obviously, Skylar Diggins-Smith is great. They've got Magbador. They've got so many players. They got Jewel Lloyd. Like, that 4 right there. And, like, I know Vivian's their 5th starter, but, like, just the main 4 can compete with any 4 in the league. And then they've also got some okay players on the bench. So they're going to be a really tough out for teams. So some people were saying, I was like, oh, this is looking like 2 of the best teams. And I agree. I think the Sun probably haven't been performing as well as you would expect out of a team to be undefeated. They've came through a lot of close games. Just today, obviously, or yesterday, they lost a close game. But, like, it is what it is. They are genuinely a tough out for any team. And that was the case, again, with the New York Liberty. But it's going to be an interesting year. There are a lot of really, really good teams. And there are no undefeated teams right now. Like, Suns still have the best record in the league. The Liberty, I think, are second. If I'm not mistaken, it's Liberty second. And it's like, I think Lynx and Seattle. Yeah, Lynx and Seattle are both on 7-3. The Aces are 5-3. So it is really a tough one. But I do think any of those, I don't see the Lynx winning. As much as I like McBride, as much as I think Nafisa Collier is great, I don't see the Lynx being true contenders. But, like, I think any of the Aces, the Storm, the Liberty, and the Sun have a shot. They have a legitimate chance of winning the championship this year. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.